Goldberg, editor-at-large for National Review Online, is my guest. He's also a Fox News contributor. All right, Jonah, so is it really the case that people are just dying to get this product of Obamacare, and if only the cash register worked or I could park somewhere, I would just be dying to get it?
Yeah, I mean, the analogy is pretty flawed, right? Because there's ample parking. It's just that the place isn't open. Look, we don't know. We honestly don't know. We do know from the reports from the state exchanges that are working that they are getting a lot of sign-ups, but mostly for Medicaid. And mostly older and less healthy people are signing up. The millions of young people that they need to sign up to make this actuarially work, they aren't there yet.
Right. And that's why we're not seeing the numbers, quite frankly, right? Because we're going to see this kind of upside-down movement. If people are getting the Medicaid and Medicare for free, we need the young people to make this whole thing work, if you're speaking for the administration, right?
Right. And look, at the end of the day, the only way this works out for the Obama administration is if they create a lot more winners than losers. And right now, they're creating a lot more losers than winners. And he makes it sound as that once this website works, everybody who gets the exchange will be happy with what they find. And there's a lot of reason to believe that that's not necessarily true. Sure, for the people who didn't have insurance before and couldn't afford it and now get a subsidy from the government and don't have to pay anything out of pocket, people like getting free stuff. But for the millions of middle-class people who he had told they can keep their plan, or even if they don't like their current plan, they'll get something better and cheaper on the exchange, there's not a lot of evidence to say all of those people are going to be happy with what they find.
Right.
And President Obama is still acting as if he never lied to anybody about this stuff, and so the disappointment is going to feel more like betrayal.
Yeah, you got to wonder how long he can continue with that campaign-style kind of messaging. Speaking of campaigning, he kind of had a meeting that was, well, off the campaign trail yesterday. It was not on the official docket. He met with 16 Senate Democrats who are up for re-election. Now, was that coincidental that all of these Senate Democrats are probably pretty upset with the way in which Obamacare has rolled out and, quite honestly, fearful for their re-election hopes? What do you make of the meeting?
I think that's exactly what happened. I think that this was in part, for all we know, it was scheduled for a while and just kept off the public schedule, but the election results in Virginia, I don't care what the guys on some other networks are saying, I don't care what the DNC is saying, the simple fact is that we saw Terry McAuliffe with a double-digit lead blow it because of Obamacare. Everything else we knew about Cuccinelli, whether he was a flawed candidate or not, whether all that stuff about being pro-life and all of that, voters knew all that. The only new information that coincided with Terry McAuliffe's plummet in the polls was Obamacare.
Right.
And these guys in the Senate, they're up for re-election. They're looking at a Democrat losing, 10 points and almost losing the entire race because of Obamacare. And they need to complain to somebody, and they needed to complain to Obama.
Well, it must have been purely